To politics, and every poll showing it at this hour. Jobs and the economy, the most important issues voters will be considering when heading to the polls in November. GOP presumptive nominee Donald Trump took no time in blasting Obamonomics on Twitter exactly 7 minutes after the May jobs report was released this morning. Quote, on Twitter, terrible jobs report just reported, only 38,000 jobs added, bombshell. Mr. Trump is playing off a very important fact in the polls, and the fact is that voters think Trump would be the better candidate for the economy, 53% to 43%, according to a Gallup poll. Fox News political analyst Ed Rollins is currently an advisor to the Trump super PAC, and Robert Zimmerman, a Democratic strategist and Hillary Clinton fundraiser, is joining us as well. This very ugly jobs report was red meat with a big red ribbon wrapped around it for Donald Trump because he can play on it. But where should he take it, Ed, beyond this is a terrible number, Obama's a terrible president?
Well, I think he has to talk about his economic program and how he's going to get people back to work. He has a long history of doing that, and I think to a certain extent that becomes very important. These kinds of numbers are devastating. It eliminates a little bit the effort of Obama to go out and campaign effectively for Mrs. Clinton. We're certainly going to try and tie the two of them together, talk about this failure, and basically you want 4 more years of this kind of economy. Great, vote for Hillary. You don't want 4 more years. You want to take the chance on a Donald Trump, basically being a change agent. That's the premise.
Robert, she could spin it in different ways. She could say that the stock market is up more than 200% since the lows back in 2009 when President Obama took over. But the economy is separate from the stock market.
Absolutely.
She's been giving some blistering speeches as well, and she's hitting foreign policy. But if economy is the #1 issue, what does she need to do? Does she separate herself from the Obama
economy?
To
the contrary. Let's put some perspective in here, and that is this. We're living through the longest sustained growth of private sector jobs in our country's history. Obviously, today's number was very disappointing and frustrating, but overall, this economy is performing not just incredibly well, it's performing better than Mitt Romney said he would do if he was elected. There's more work that has to be done. We're going to call upon the Republican Congress to finally step up and support infrastructure programs to put America back to work. We're going to ask the Republican Congress to support the bipartisan consensus out there to raise the minimum wage. So those are important steps that she's going to campaign on, Hillary Clinton, and certainly the reason Barack Obama's approval ratings are about one of the highest now, 52%, is because of these issues he's championing.
But if she
Donald Trump sounds like he took his economic lessons from Trump University. Well, he doesn't have an economic policy. He's just got tweets.
Okay, #1, Ed, there's that issue. You said he's got a history of creating jobs, but he needs to do a plan for the entire country versus outside of his real estate world. But can I just say, though, he can turn the I'm going to do infrastructure spending, if Hillary Clinton says that, to President Obama had an $800 billion stimulus. Much of it did not go to infrastructure. It went to preserving jobs.
Being perfectly honest, that stimulus bill was a total waste. It was sort of to clean up all the things that Dave Obey, who was the chairman of the Appropriations Committee, had on his desk. There was nothing new. There's nothing stimulating. And not a person can tell you today they benefited from that. The infrastructure is very, very important, and I think both sides need to get together and do that. The critical thing here, though, I think, is who do you believe going down the road here? People that basically watch the stock market, just as Robert said, maybe they've had good things, but the people who are looking for jobs, the people who've lost jobs, the people who don't have any hope anymore and are walking away from the job market, Donald Trump is their candidate of hope, and that's what's going to happen. Equally important, you tie on the president's greatest success, which is Obamacare. The rates are just going through the roof on the new health care packages that are going out to people privately insured. So I think there's a lot of basically very bad news for the Obama administration.
Well, I think one of the reasons you don't see the Republicans talking about Obamacare, including Donald Trump, is the fact we have the highest number of Americans having health insurance now than we've ever had in our country's history. People who were formerly losing insurance for pre-existing conditions or cancer or aging issues now have health care.
And I think Donald Trump has said, Ed, he has said, we can't have people uninsured walking on the street.
It's not about being uninsured. All the things the president promised you with his plan, you weren't going to lose your doctor. Everybody has lost their doctors. You're going to have a better system. It's going to be cheaper. None of that's coming true. Every single major health care provider is raising their rates dramatically, so the people that do have health insurance, had health insurance before, are playing on record numbers, and every time you go to your doctor, you basically have to pay.
So health insurance is going to be something he goes after, but I need to do this because we are just days away from California. We got to go soon, but I need to ask you, Bernie Sanders is incredibly close to Hillary Clinton.
Sure
in fact, there's a new poll that shows him beating her in the state of California. What's the response to that? That's
let's remember, when Hillary Clinton beat Barack Obama in California, it didn't change the trajectory of the 2008 of the nomination. Clearly, I believe Hillary Clinton will win California. I think her speech yesterday did a great deal to turn the corner in that regard. But the bottom line is, she is mathematically the nominee. He has to win 107%, Bernie Sanders, 107% of the remaining elected delegates to win the nomination.
But California was in February, the year that she beat Barack Obama in 2008.
But the point is, she has the delegates. She has won the popular vote. She's won the majority of delegates elected. No matter what happens in California, it's not going to change that answer.
What is going to change it, and I think Bernie Sanders has a great chance of winning it, he really has the momentum, is she is limping to her convention. Every single person that's out there, including most of the things, thinks she's a very weak candidate. And I think
that's my friend Ed's wishful thinking.
Well, that's why we have you. Fair and balanced. Ed Rollins, Robert Zimmerman, great to have you both. Happy Friday. We're going to